Hi, my name is Justin Call. I'm the president of Broomstick Monkey Games, and I'm about to explain to you in this tutorial video the action points that are associated with each character in Imperial Harvest and the different things that they can do in spending those action points. In this example, I'm using some characters, advanced characters, so if I was playing on the basic side, I would start with more action points, 4 action points, and I would only get 2 powers. But in this scenario, I'm playing advanced, so I only start with 3 action points. And when I pick up a strawberry, then I gain my 4th action point and I gain additional powers. So to start, quick summary of things you can do with your action points. Move 1 space, pluck a strawberry, deposit 1 or more strawberries into a strawberry camp, pass 1 or more strawberries to an adjacent character, and activate certain character abilities. Pretty self-explanatory. We're going to get into an example of exactly how that's going to work. In this case, we've got the monk. And let's say it's my turn. This is my starting turn. And in this scenario, we've got a Hydra who's parked close to a strawberry basket, which is really close to my character camp. But for the sake of this example, this is how the board's set up. And these are my characters in their character camp. And I'm about to go out and embark on plucking some strawberries. The first thing I'm going to do as a monk, if I'm spending action points, I can use this ability that costs 1 action point, throw an adjacent character 2 spaces away. Characters may be thrown over obstacles. So I'm going to actually pick up adjacent character, in this case my bridge troll, and I'm going to throw him up to 2 spaces away, 1, 2, so he lands on that strawberry. It's not his turn to move yet, so he's just going to stand on top of that strawberry. So I've spent one of my 3 action points. I have 2 left. So I'm going to move here 1, and then I'm going to dragon pounce onto that strawberry for 2. So that's the end of my turn. If I hadn't thrown my bridge troll, I could have picked up this strawberry and immediately gained another action point. And then I could have moved here or here. I couldn't have dragon pounced again because it's a once per turn ability. But as it stands, the monk's turn's done. He's spent his 3 action points. He's going to be able to pick up this strawberry on his next turn. But I still have another character I need to use. My rogue is resting this turn, so I'm going to be using my bridge troll. And fortunately for him, moving onto a bridge costs 0, so that's going to save him some action points. Unfortunately, I have a Hydra, which would typically kill me because anytime a Hydra is adjacent to a character, they're going to die. But in the case of the bridge troll, because he's got the lurker ability, he's immune to neutral monster attacks while standing on a bridge. So let's say he picks this strawberry up for 1. We're going to add that to his character card right there. So he just used one of his action points, but he also gained an action point. So he still has 3 action points left. Then he's going to move on to the bridge for free because of familiar territory. And he's not going to get attacked because of his lurker ability. So he still has 3 action points and he's standing on the bridge. He moves 1, 2, plucks that for 3. That's 4 action points that he's spent now. And he's gained 2 strawberries. Don't forget, when you pluck your strawberries, you also get victory points. So at this stage of the game, I've moved 2 characters pretty far across the board, and I've gained 2 victory points and 2 strawberries. On my next turn, I'm going to have to pick which of these characters to move. One of them is going to have to rest because the rogue is going to get to take his turn. But assuming that I moved the rogue and did his turn, I could either choose to pluck this strawberry and move this guy across the board, or more likely, I'm going to go ahead and walk over here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to drop my strawberries. But then I can't move a 4th space because I've dropped all my strawberries. That's kind of how the action points work. Again, you can use your AP, your extra AP down here with the AP boost, as long as you have a strawberry, and you gain that immediately. But as soon as you get rid of your strawberries, if you spent your 3rd action point getting rid of your strawberries, you don't have that 4th action point anymore, ergo your turn's over. If, however, you use your 4th action point to deposit your strawberries, that's actually legal. So you're using your 4th action point to get rid of the thing that's giving you your 4 action points, but that's okay. That's a quick explanation of how to use your action points in Imperial Harvest. Again, it can be basically summarized by picking up and getting rid of strawberries, plucking a strawberry, depositing 1 or more strawberries, passing 1 or more strawberries. You can give all of your strawberries, deposit them all at once for 1 action point, or you can give them to an adjacent character all at once for 1 action point. But those 3 powers in the middle, they're basically just about giving items to other people. The only other things that cost action points are moving a space and using your powers. It does not cost an action point to rotate a character. if you have a line of sight ability, it does not cost an action point to turn, but you can only do that once per turn. So if at some point you have a line of sight ability you need to use, you can do that once during your turn, and then you won't be able to do it until your next turn. So that's a quick example of how you can use your action points during a game of Imperial Harvest, and an example of how, visual example of how they can be used on the board.